Hey, gang, welcome to Divisional playoff round. Last second sports. Let's get into it.
When you step across the white stripe, the only thing that matters is that 6 inches between your backbone and your breastbone.
To the corner of the end zone. Does he get both feet down?
Touchdown is ruled unfair.
Hey, gang, welcome back to another episode. We're going to get into this. This week, we got a special guest. Cowboy Ed is on. So let's bring him in.
Hey, who's this?
This is...
Yeah, this is Ed.
Yes, Ed?
Yeah, what time is it?
It's 1:30.
1:30? Yay! It's time to make the donuts.
Oh, wrong Ed. Excuse me. Hey, there's Ed. And we got Soundman Steve as well. Steve, Soundman Steve, his feed is. All right. And we're waiting on Barfy still. But we are live. And we're going to talk some football this Saturday, just like we did last Saturday. Have some fun with this. Get a little perspective from our resident Cowboy fan.
Well,
see if
I appreciate you giving me a chance to come on.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So, all right, we got everybody in now. Yes, everyone is here.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today?
So, we'll address the elephant in the room. We're going to try to stay away from Philly and Cowboy talk this week.
Yeah,
we're going to do that.
We can't upset the Cowboys fans down there. They get salty.
I have to cover my logo.
Well, is there any ground rules on this thing? You know, you got to remember that you're the new brother-in-law there, Brian. So, you know, you got to respect your elders.
To be fair,
What, do you have some kind of drinking problems?
It's a problem, Dan.
That's alcohol's abuse.
Well, to be fair...
Oh, don't say to be fair. I hate when people say to be fair. It sounds like to be fair.
To be fair.
Well, to be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
So, all right, we'll get into it this week. We're going to go with what we got? We got Packers Rams starting this off. All right. We're going to do the injury report first on this. There's not a lot. Everyone's kind of walking in this pretty healthy for the most part for all playoff games, which is a fantastic thing to see.
That's right. Everybody got their COVID shots. So
everyone got their COVID shots. They got their second rounds. They're not getting horns yet. So that's a good thing. That's a positive thing.
But they all tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, though.
We'll see if that happens because, you know, it happens all the time.
Well, San Francisco's female coach, she got the shot. And next thing you knew, she became their defensive tight end. She was just like, I'm here to play.
Defensive tight end. Well, speaking of performance enhancing and stuff like that, Josh Gordon's out of the NFL indefinitely again. So that's fun to see.
No.
Josh Gordon. Poor Josh Gordon. I can't stop doing stupid shit.
No.
So with the injury report with the Rams, we have Aaron Donald. He was limited all week, but he is going to play. Cooper Kupp. He's got a knee issue. He's been questionable, but I don't see either one of these guys saying, I'm not playing. It's a playoff game. They're going to get into it. They're going to be very productive guys. On the Packers side of the ball, everyone's walking in, ready to go. There's no notables to bring into it.
They better not. They've had 2 weeks off. Anybody who means anything.
Mm-hmm. So with all that being said, we'll start with Ed. Ed, how you feeling on this Rams-Packers matchup?
Well, after I started looking at it, I guess the most important thing is, one, I did see that Kupp is actually game time decision. So, and just looking at all the news and everything, it's basically your number one defense going against the number one offense. That something like to that nature, if I'm not mistaken.
The Rams.
So it's I think it's matchup right here. I kind of like the Rams. I like them shutting down Devontae Adams and just trying to run the ball with Akers and, you know, keeping it close, but I think they have a good shot. Number one defense going against the number one offense. It's a 4-2 record. So I'll lay my odds on the defense to shut them guys down. Give what's his name? Aaron Rodgers, can't stand him, but I like to see them shut him down.
I know you can't stand good quarterbacks, but you got to give credit when credit is due.
Well, we have one of the best quarterbacks, the top 5, I'm going to say, right?
Yeah,
Top 10?
Troy Aikman was a great quarterback 25 years ago.
Dak is up there.
Who you got, Ed, in this game? I mean, Steve, who you got in this game?
Yeah, well, it's 6.5 point spread, and I think with like Ed said, the defense in playoff time is immeasurable. But you also, that's what I always go by. It's composure, quarterback, and defense. To me, are huge. So I think Green Bay has the composure and the quarterback, and LA has the defense to put the pressure on them. I think again, it comes down to if they can keep Donald out of the backfield, and Aaron Rodgers gets on a roll, I think they'll win through. But I still think that the Rams should be able to. I would take them with the points if I was a gambling man, but because I think it's going to be a closer game than people anticipate. Again, it comes down to the quarterback on LA side. Again, he's playing with pins in his thumb. I mean,
yeah, Jared Goff
in the cold. Them pins are going to get a little cold. So I would think that's got to have some effect on his passing game. If they can get Akers off and get him running, that'd be a big step in the right direction. But like I said, I would go, if I was taking the points, I would take the points in the Rams. But I believe that Green Bay is going to win. I'm going to say, within the over and under seems low to me up there.
Maybe Green Bay is giving 6.5.
Yeah, but the over and under on total points, it seems low. I think 40, it's at 45.5 or something.
I'm liking the under.
That doesn't seem like many points. So I don't know what the weather's going to be like up there today. So
yeah, hey, okay, Barfy, we got you on this. Yes, we do. Here we go, Barfy.
So real quickly, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm glad you're looking forward to this. He's been sitting there waiting, so I was waiting for that comment to pop up. So I got Packers 23, Rams 20. So for little tidbits of facts, Rodgers and Davante Adams have connected for 76% of all passes of the season. It's the second highest in the NFL in the past 20 years between a wide receiver quarterback duo. They have a winning record of 16 to 24 winning record after a bye week during the regular seasons. The Packers, that is, and they're 2-1 when on earned playoff buys. So even though playoff buys they're 50%. I mean, they've only played 3 games. So they've only had 3 playoff buys, and as Aaron Rodgers was a quarterback. I'm going to say that's more in their favor. No, I'm not putting the dress back on. I'm not putting the dress back on. But for the Rams, Pro Bowl receivers have caught only 37% of their passes when Ramsey's was the nearest defender for the season. That's the lowest allowed by any defensive back. And Ramsey also ranks as one of the top 5 in lowest completion percentage over the expectation. Now you got Cam Akers, and he looks like a veteran player. He's hot. I keep screwing me up when I hear his name, so I'm thinking David Akers is playing again.
He's a rookie this year, I think.
Yes, he is. Yeah. He's a rookie playing veteran status. So I would say look for McVay to mix up his personnel with like 1 and 2 tight end sets using inside or outside zone and gap schemes to open up the lanes for Aker to get down there. But I do feel that this is going to be one of those experience. I feel that Rodgers will get it down far enough. 4th quarter field goal.
Does Rams have more?
That is correct.
Oh, that caught me off guard.
Nice.
But no, yeah, I like how you bring up the 2 tight end sets and stuff, and 2-3 tight end sets. They do have the depth in there to do so on that with their tight ends. They are 3 deep. They could bring that out, but they also have incredible wide receivers on the outside. So though, as much as everyone's saying defense wins championships and everything like that, and the Rams have that defense, and we lost Barfy. All right, but I honestly think Aaron Rodgers playing out of his mind. The head coach up there, he's got this offense churning. Yeah, Aaron Jones coming out of the backfield. I understand you have Aaron Donald. He's going to penetrate. He's going to get his. He's going to push the pocket as much as possible. But I really, really believe that this is going to be a very quick fireworks show, and Packers going to take this 30-14. So,
I kind of disagree with you there, Brian. As always.
As always.
I mean, it's based on matchup. I mean, how many times has Adams faced a number one corner? And I don't think it's Adams. I think it's all the complementary players behind him, or that are also playing. They're going to be that key factor, or the X factor. And if they start off slow, I just don't see them doing anything or getting anything on that defense.
But you can't forget, Green Bay also has an all-pro cornerback in Alexander on the other side that can also shut down wide receivers. So it does even out. But if Ramsey shadows Adams the whole game, I think that could pose an issue. But on the other hand, they are pretty deep in the wide receiving core. They have a lot of guys, a lot of complimentary guys that can do what they need to do. So
who's the better coach here? Now, sometimes it comes down to coaching. Who's the better offensive guy? Is that LaFleur, or is that what's his name, McVay?
As of right now, I would say LaFleur. I would say LaFleur, because you have to think what Aaron Rodgers was doing with a guy like McCarthy for years. He went stale.
Oh, that's a Cowboys coach.
Yes, it is.
Give us another year. Give us one more year.
We'll see. But McCarthy had a very stale offense, and Rodgers went stale for a couple years. You bring LaFleur in, it's a renaissance. Aaron Rodgers playing out of his mind. It comes down to, will Aaron Donald push that pocket enough to make Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable and force him to make a mistake? I don't think it's going to happen. I honestly don't think.
Yeah, you got to disrupt Rodgers, and that's really, I think, the key to the game. The defensive line against the offensive line of the Packers. And like I said, I think it's going to be close, higher scoring. I gave it a 30-26 score for the Packers. But yeah, I can't go against them at home. Rodgers at home, and I do give Sean McVay a little bit of cred for being the more experienced playoff coach. But I don't know how much that really weighs.
Are they having any fans in that stands or what, in the stadium? There's no.
It comes down to who's going to produce more. Is it going to be Jared Goff, or is it going to be Aaron Rodgers? Exactly. Aaron Rodgers definitely going to produce more, and I don't believe that offense is going to be able to stack up with each other, where it's going to be an even game all the way through and come down to the last minutes and who makes that mistake.
So also something to think about is that, did we mention the injury, Goff's injury? We talked about Goff's injury, correct? I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay. We talked about the elements of rods and the cold metal, cold bones. We talked about that.
Yes. Steve was touching on that.
Oh, sorry. I was busy for a second.
But
been busy, have you?
Well, okay, so I guess, hey, this is good panel. Everyone's agreeing or disagreeing, and that's good. We're going to move on to Ravens and Bills, which I feel this is going to be a really good matchup. With Ravens, you have Marcus Peters. He's questionable with a back injury. Bills, no notables. You have Zach Moss on IR. They did just sign Devontae Freeman to the practice squad. I'm not sure if he's going to be active for today's game, but I don't think it's going to matter anyway. Bills they're not producing in the backfield. Singletary is not a guy to really worry about. So, Ed, what are you feeling?
Well, it's supposed to be snow. What's the weather over there? I heard snow, possible snow.
It is snowing.
Snowing. All right. If snow, the X factor is definitely quarterback and rushing. Aren't they like the number one rushing team against for the run?
with them, yeah, so you bring that up. So they have kind of a very balanced attack over there in Baltimore. They average about 182 yards a game and 191 rushing. And then you flip it to Buffalo, where they're more predominant passing with 190 or 299 passing a game, and run is 107. So, like you said, yes, it's going to come down to who's going to run the ball more successfully.
Yeah. The X factor is Lamar Jackson. Did you see that game a couple weeks ago? He went into the tunnel or whatever locker room, came back out, and just took everybody, on storm. Took everybody on his back. I think they're averaging in the last 5 games over 30 points. So yeah, they'll start off a little slow. I think he can throw a little bit better than people think. But he's the X factor. And if it snows, they always say the offense knows where they're going compared to the defense. And I mean, you've seen it game after game that, he puts people on their back, breaking ankles. So I think he's the X factor. Bills, yeah, I think they're happy. The experience still goes to the Ravens. You know what I mean? They've been there.
Well, so to talk about the Bills and their defense, and we all know it's going to be Lamar Jackson versus the Bills. That's exactly how I feel it's going to be. But Bills are 16th with most allowed yards in rushing, 14th in total yards allowed, 17th in allowed first downs, 6th in most rushing touchdowns, 8th highest in yards per carry, 8th in most rushing first downs. So this is their heel. Like Lamar Jackson is their worst nightmare in this aspect. But again, I don't know Lamar Jackson's stats in snow, in cold turf.
Well, to that point, I'm reading here they got the Bills haven't allowed a quarterback to gain more than 61 yards rushing over the past 2 seasons, containing Kyle Murray, Cam Newton, and even Jackson, who was held to 40 yards rushing in Buffalo 13 months ago. That's last year. But I think we all agree that, Lamar Jackson's legs are going to carry the Ravens either way. I mean, he's either taking them forward or it's going to end today. So, I'm still a Bills fan. I saw coming into the playoffs, they're my AFC team to compete with Kansas City. So I'm still pushing the Bills here, but I don't think that if they can shut him down or contain him and make him throw the ball and maybe get a turnover too, I don't think that the Ravens have a chance.
Now, does he throw better or worse than Wentz? It's like, what's the stat there?
I can easily dump you out of this feed. Shut your whorish mouth.
Over the last 5 seasons, I would say that I would take Wentz.
I would.
I would. You can even factor in the crap from this year, and he's still like heads above Lamar. So
I think so. You do have Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen can also run too. He can get out of the pocket. He's a very athletic guy. He's a big guy. He's rolling over people. Lamar Jackson likes to juke, break ankles. Josh Allen just says, "I'm coming."
Exactly.
Try to tackle my 250-pound ass. I'm coming.
He's just a bull. He's like, I'm not fancy. Just bam.
And what's great about him, he holds on to the ball. He don't fumble. He gets that up high and tight, and he don't fumble.
That's
so
right.
I think this is going to be where's my I'm going to go. It is a squeaker. I think Lamar Jackson got his first playoff victory last week. Lamar Jackson, he had a fantastic game. I think the Bills are going to just be a little bit too much, and this is going to just get just a little weight. Just a smidge away. Almost there, but not all the way.
Last night? Was that what you were doing all last night?
Yes.
All these clips. I was going crazy last night with clips.
That's what I heard. I don't know.
I was all over DaVinci Resolve, pulling clips, just sizing it all down, cleaning the picture up and everything. I was having fun.
I think I know I didn't say my prediction, but I think it's 17-13 Ravens. I think they pull it out, low scoring game. I feel if it snows, it might be higher just because of that, but I think the Ravens pull that out. You gotta have some dogs. There got to be some dogs here.
So
I think the dogs are stronger. I'm sorry, Joe.
No, you're good.
I have the Bills 27, Ravens 24. I do think that the spread is right there. I mean, it's 2.5 to 3 points. I was kind of leaning toward most of the underdogs today with points as far as betting goes. So I think all these games are going to be right in the same.
They're gonna be fantastic games.
Yeah,
it's
they're
gonna
all
be-
going to be close.
Probably the best weekend for football.
So-
Best
Ah.
weekend for football.
for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Ravens, going to squeak it out just at the very end. I also said you could probably flip a coin to this. It's pretty much who has the ball at the end. Josh Allen's going to be facing blitz. The Ravens have blitzed more than any other team in the NFL this year at 41% of opponent dropbacks. So Josh Allen is waiting for the blitz. He's been actually blitzed more than any other quarterback during regular season, and he's done damage against this. Facing the blitz, he's led the NFL in passing touchdowns with 17 touchdown passes, and he had 2 last week during the wild card round. He had the second highest quarterback rating at 93.4. He's finished 4th in yards and drop back passes at 7.4. But also we got Stephon Diggs. You've got Cole Beasley. Stephon Diggs went for 128 yards last week. So the Ravens have to stop the air. If they stop the air, they got the game. But I feel that Allen has that experience of dealing with the rush that he's just going to be like, bloop. He's just gonna drop him. If it's snowing, he's gonna be short. It's gonna be a short pass gain all the way up the field. It's gonna come down to a field goal.
And with the talking about passes, Lamar Jackson, as much as we want to say is about his legs, he is starting to really develop a really good arm. He is starting to hook up with Hollywood Brown. So he's scored a couple touchdowns over the last couple weeks. So that hookup is finally getting where it needs to be and what they expected it to be. But all right, Barfy.
Oh, buddy.
Okay, moving on to
having way too much fun with that.
I am having way too much fun with this. So moving on to the Browns and Chiefs, with the injuries, like I said, a lot of these teams are walking in pretty clean. With the Chiefs, Sammy Watkins is out with a calf. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's questionable with an ankle and hip, so he's pretty banged up. So you're probably going to see a heavy dose of Le'Veon Bell.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then on the Brown side, you have Jack Conklin. He's questionable with a hamstring. He's going to play. So, yeah. What are you feeling, Ed?
Well, did you see what came on the other day, yesterday? So the backstory, Mahomes and Baker have a backstory. They were actually, Baker recruited Mahomes in Texas Tech. You didn't
really?
Yeah. So he actually brought him for the visit, took him out for, I think they said, movie and dinner, in college. He actually recruited him. He went there, I think a year later. Baker left, went to Oklahoma. Last night they were showing 2016 Oklahoma against Texas Tech.
I caught a little bit of that.
I was there in Dallas to watch a Cowboys game, but that was there on Saturday night. I was at the Star watching that game. 59, I think it was like 67, 59, phenomenal.
Ooh.
So there's a backstory and kind of like a little personal there to an extent for Baker. I don't know if he has enough firepower behind him to actually get him, where they need to be. But if they keep the ball out of the Chiefs' hands, a stat I saw out of the last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken, Kansas City is struggling to put up points there. I think Mahomes hasn't played in 2 to 3 weeks, so he could be a little rusty there. If they get out in front, they run the ball, I think they really have a good shot.
So Ed,
You underestimate my power.
So Ed, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You said you saw this game at the Star.
The Star is the Cowboys
Gay club,
practice.
right? It was the male strip club, right?
Right. You walk in with chaps,
Right.
and then and
Okay,
then
as long as
you're- if you're an Eagles fan, you go downstairs, and then the Cowboys fans stay upstairs.
right, to the egg lair,
So
or scramble some eggs. So what you're saying, there's a little bit of a drama under the helmet between these two.
So who you got, Steve? Who you feeling in this matchup?
I mean, as much as impressive as the Browns were last week, I feel that Pittsburgh just shot themselves in the foot. Four interceptions with Roethlisberger. They just totally lost their cool, and they pretty much gave the momentum in the game to the Browns. That being said, the Browns were glad to take it, and they have a lot of talent. You give them guys any encouragement, they can be a really tough team down the road. Can Kansas City come back from sitting around and, just turn the gas on? You know what I mean? The stat that I thought was pretty indicative was they haven't covered the spread in the second half in the whole second half of the season. So they've kind of been flat the second half of the season. And, it's going to, covering the spread obviously isn't necessarily the issue, being that they're getting 10, but
that's an incredible point spread right there.
Yeah, I would definitely take the Browns with the points. I don't see how anybody can turn that one down.
Oh no.
But then again, it's got to make you think it's just bait, right? They're baiting you to take that bad pick, and but that's the obvious situation there. So I'm still a Chiefs believer. I think the Browns may have celebrated their win last week, and they all went out to the strip clubs in Cleveland, and
Yeah, but they went to
what kind of good strip clubs could you have in Cleveland?
It's all they have in Cleveland: bowling alleys and strip clubs.
Well, no, it's called the Brown Eye. It's a little undercover club. It's apparently it's a shithole, but it's Cleveland, so I mean,
okay.
Dog pound in the Brown Eye. I mean, real quickly, Dad, we get it that you're probably smarter than all of us, especially Ed, the Marine.
I don't know about
because he Mr. Crayon Brigade. But can you not use the word indicative? That was just you just made me.
I picked that one out of the air and I put it in my pocket for next time.
Save that.
I'm gonna save that for
anytime.
I'm gonna save that for shot collar and be like, what does indicative
anytime
mean?
I can say dick is I fit it in there.
Exactly. I mean, So you were hanging out the Brown Eye too then?
Yeah.
Is that the honorary membership?
Hey.
All right. Well, moving on, Barfy. Who you got in this game?
So it breaks my heart to say this because I wanted to say the lines taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. I want to say it, but I feel their run's going to end this week. Chiefs 27, Browns 24. The Browns are efficient offensively inside the 20, scoring a touchdown 74% of the time, which is the third best in the NFL. They got Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb has scored 7 straight touchdowns in 7 straight games, which is the longest streak by any Browns player since 1970. Winning percentage on a bye week. He's 8-3 with the Chiefs when it comes to that, and the fact that Mahomes has 2 weeks of resting, as what Ed said earlier, or it was my dad, I can't remember. I feel that with that rest, he's going to be good. Mahomes is just going to be. This is another day at work for him. He's good. He's great under pressure. So I gotta say it's going to be close. So if you're going to bet for it, obviously you want to bet the Browns, betting wise. But as far as anything else, I feel it's the Chiefs going to take it, and the Browns are not going to go to the Super Bowl. But it would be a great euphemism for 2020. How can you describe 2020? Taking the Browns to the Super Bowl.
So with all that being said, I'm going to say that the Browns are going to come close. They're not going to get there. As far as I'm a huge Baker Mayfield fan, especially when you look at how hot he's been over the last 2 months. The last time he threw an interception was December 14th, and then before that was before Halloween.
Wow. So
this guy is protecting the ball. He's doing what he needs to do with it. But, it's going to be somewhere along lines like, yeah, they're there, but they're not.
This is really one of those heartwarming moments in sports where you just, oh my God.
Almost,
Nice.
almost, but Yeah, if you do look at the matchup, Andy Reid coming out of a bye week is always key. He is probably one of the best coaches of all time coming out of the bye. So with Cleveland, you have an incredible backfield with Hunt and Chubbs. And their defense is nothing to sniff at either. Like Cleveland has a very solid defense. I think it's gonna give Mahomes a little bit of a different look. But when it comes down to it, Mahomes is just too good of a quarterback. Tyreek Hill, who's the other guy? Harden, the other fast wide receiver they have. I believe they're just going to stretch the field. It's going to be way too much for Cleveland. And the way I look at it is, yeah, they got up big real fast against Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh made mistakes early, and they're not going to have that luxury. They ended up almost that game almost slipped away from them because they started just lay back a little bit.
Yeah, they got a little complacent at the end there.
They did. So Pittsburgh almost came back. So I'm looking at it as, hey, Cleveland, you had a great season, but Andy Reid and Mahomes are just going to be way too much. As much as I love to see, the Baker Mayfield, Stepnowski come out of, left field, take this to the AFC Championship, and we go from there, maybe even a Super Bowl run. But with that, if you're going to bet, take the spread, take Cleveland with the +10, but it's just not going to, it's just going to be close enough, but it's not going to be there. They're going to be driving that last 2 minutes, and Baker fumbles the ball. He's going to throw an interception, and it's going to be like, hey, almost, guys, kind of thing. So
maybe they'll make a new Coke commercial with, instead of Mean Joe Green, they'll have Baker Mayfield.
Good game. Yes, good game. So moving on to the Bucks and Saints, the final matchup of Sunday, which is going to be a good one. Who we got on that? We'll start with Steve this time with his intriguing words.
I'm all shot now.
Wordsmith.
I got lost when he brought up Brown eyes. Brown. So, yeah.
Balloon knot.
Again, going with the strong quarterback. I'm a strong believer in those during the playoffs. Best team, most composed, best quarterback. Here, it's kind of, how do you say best quarterback when you got Brady on one side and Breeze on the other? So those kind of neutralize each other. That being said, I just think the Saints are starting to come together after missing Breeze for most of the season there, that it's going to start coming back together. That's my thought. And they'll be able to move the ball, keep it out of Tom Brady's hands, which is always important when Tom Brady's on the field. And I don't know that talent-wise, the Saints are better. I just think it's consistency, the coach, the quarterback, and the weapons that they have on offense. Not too familiar with their defense. So that would be a key for me.
So with Tom Brady and Breeze, it could be along the lines of something like this to the wide receivers to endure.
I'm open!
I'm ready to play, coach. Just give me a chance.
That's awesome. That's great.
I know there's a lot riding on it, but it's purely psychological. Just got to stay in a positive frame of mind.
Ed, who you looking at?
Well, it goes back down to matchups. Matchup is Evans against Lattimore.
Right.
That's going to, obviously, Lattimore is probably one of the top 5, corners of that nature.
Agreeable.
Taking Evans out. Now, what do you got? You got Crazy Man over there.
You got Antonio Brown. You still have Godwin.
You got
Gronk. You have Brait. You still have a solid core of wide receivers behind that. So shut down one guy. That's fine. The other guys are going to run crazy.
Right. So Saints beat them twice already in the regular season. How hard is it to beat somebody 3 times? Yes, it's about talent still, but Antonio Brown wasn't there. He was there the second matchup, but it was his first game back. Now they have the continuity. And then most of all, above everything, it's Tom Brady. He's got 6. So he knows how to win. He's going to know how these guys focus these guys in. There's an X factor. X factor is probably Antonio Brown. Is he able to do what he usually does? And are they able to score? And I don't think Tom Brady's never lost 3 straight times to one specific team. Obviously, we know it's New England, but I think he brings that over, experience, everything. I think they actually win. This is another upset that I love. Taking the points. What is it? 3?
Yes, it is.
28
are given.
28-24. What's his name? Really can't throw down the field that much anymore. Breeze. His arm is shot. I think this is last year, isn't it? I think so. So
I don't know.
Will of him.
It would be interesting to see. It would be a nice wrinkle. It'd be really funny.
Maybe
Drew Brees goes down. Jameis Winston comes in.
Oh my God! And beats his old team. Oh, that would be nasty.
So I like Tampa Bay. You gotta have some dogs in here, and I think it's the same thing. It's just complimentary. The other guys that are around him, Lattimore's going to shut down Evans. He's going to lock him in, and then it's all the other guys going to be able to be open for Tom Brady. And Tom can throw it down the field. And if he had caught that in the Super Bowl, that stupid, it wasn't called Philly, it was called Tommy Tom. I don't know. If he catches that, New England wins that game. Son of a bitch. Tom, come on, man. You can't go there.
Listen, Tom Brady can take his hot wife and go fuck himself. I don't care about that. I'm going 27-24 because Alvin Kamara, you got Breeze in the helm. This is literally going to be. This is just a typical Sunday football game. I hate to say it that way. The only difference is who's going to be better at the 2-minute offense. I know Gronk is. They're saying, "Oh, Gronk's gonna come out today." Gronk hasn't. Gronk showed up for what, 3 games this year? I don't.
He's had a decent season for a guy who just came out of retirement from the WWE.
He came out of retirement. No, I'm sorry. What's the dude's name that came out of retirement from Dallas, showed up, and then got traded to another team because he went and did sportscasting. What's that tight end's name?
I won't speak.
Marco Murray.
Oh, Witten.
Jason Witten. Come on.
Yeah, Jason Witten, whatever his name is.
Best tight end of all time. Is he top? Is he? I mean, is he in?
No. I have much respect for him. Yes. I mean, I don't like to say about most Cowboys players, but Witten, yes, I do have respect for him. I mean, I wouldn't say the best of all time, though. I mean,
he's up there with number of catches, though.
Catches. There you go.
He's a good player, but come on. You're going for a season. He was only out for a season, so and he's what?
Well, did
like
you see him
27?
on the broadcasting? He was a horrible broadcaster.
Yeah. Well, ADD and Adderall will do that to you. He's just like, stop eating Tide Pods. But
I'm sorry.
You can't. I hate to say it. I feel the Saints are a much better consistent team. I feel they're going to be the ones that take it away this year and make Brady cry again, and then he won't shake his hand either, Drew Brees' hand at the end either.
No, I think they'll give each other a big hug because this is old school football now and all.
Oh no,
I'm gonna go. Oh God, I'm sorry.
No. So you mean to tell me he'll shake everybody? He's not going to shake Nick Foles' hand, but he'll shake
Drew Brees' down to Nick Foles.
Yeah, I think there's a mutual respect as far as Brees and Brady go.
Right.
Is Nick Foles still in the league?
Yes.
Shut
your horse mouth. You keep up, he might be coming to Dallas.
Wait, why is every Eagles quarterback on the bench or not on the team anymore? What's going on?
I don't know. Why do they have a ring, the most recent ring out of the Cowboys and Eagles?
Why are Dallas quarterbacks constantly getting injured? And
wait, constantly. It's first time.
Romo?
Oh, that's Romo. Play with a broken back.
That was
so did Wynn.
Oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Ed, you and your excuses, you freaking flip flop and shit. So I'm gonna go with the Saints. Take this game in a squeaker, 27-26. It's going to come down to, like we said, with most of these games, who has the ball at the last minute. You don't want Tom Brady to have it the last minute, but it's going to come down to the head coach, and he's going to tell his defense,
Get me the ball.
Get you the ball.
Are you going to get me the ball? I'll get you the ball.
Hope he doesn't kill somebody.
One of my
It's gonna
favorite
come-
scenes.
It's going to come down to a defensive play. It's going to both these guys are great quarterbacks, great all-time quarterbacks. They both have firepower on the wide receiver side. They know where they're going with the ball. Both teams have competent running games. It's got to come down to the defense. They have to make the turnovers happen. And you come with Brady and Breeze are both guys who do not turn over the ball. So there's going to be a mistake made. There's going to be a Kamara fumble. There's going to be so on the other side, someone's going to make a mistake. You have Michael Thomas is still kind of banged up. You still have Michael Evans. He hyperextended his knee a couple weeks ago, so he's still slowed a little bit probably from that. So you got to be looking at these different aspects. I understand they're going to try to take Latimer and they're going to try to say, all right, we're going to cover you with put you on Evans. Don't sit there and have him shadow Evans because they got way too much firepower. Put him on one side, shut down one side of the ball, and make it a one-dimensional thing where Breeze has got to look to the right the whole entire time. Because he goes to the left, Latimer is going to be right there, and you don't want to be throwing Latimer. So, and then you have Michael Jenkins on top of that, taking the top side off. So the biggest thing is on defense of shutting down one side of the ball, one side of the field, and forcing a mistake to be made. Both have solid offensive or defensive lines. Barrett in Tampa Bay didn't have as quite a productive year as he did last year, but he's still a very, very good pass rusher. So he's definitely going to be getting in and getting a lot of pressure on Breeze. Breeze both of them are not very agile or quick quarterbacks. They're not going to try to scramble out. They'll do what they have to out of the pocket, but it's going to come down to a mistake and someone's going to have the last laugh.
So what you're saying is this is technically the Senior Bowl.
Basically, this is I think you're going to probably see, as much as the firepower's on the outside, you have to give it up to Kamara. You have to give it up to what's his name, the running back up. Well, actually, Ronald Jones is hurt too still. So it goes to Fournette by default. Fournette's still a solid back. He's still a power back. He's going to finesse too at the same time.
Is Ron Jones in or is he out?
Ronald Jones, from what I looked at for the injury report, you're looking at Ronald Jones. He's out with a quad and finger. He's questionable. He's not out. So, but then you also have on the other side, you have Latavius Murray, who is their up the middle guy, who's their banger. He's questionable with a quad injury. So there's a lot to be looking at in the backfield.
I think you make great points on the tendencies that we both I did it myself, looking at the quarterbacks and the offenses, but both of these teams have great defensive head coaches who have put together good defenses. And, the old saying was defenses win championships. Well, both of these teams have the defenses that could do that. Arians has got a really good defensive mind. And Sean Payton obviously has been around for years for a reason.
They both have.
Keeps his team in the game, always keeps his team in the game. So, we may be overrating the offenses and underrating the fact that the defenses could pull this game out. It could very well come down to a turnover here or there.
Most likely, that's exactly what it is. I know. I have 27-24. Monahan has 27-26.
Yeah.
Saints winning. It's going to come down to a turnover. Who's going to fuck up?
Exactly. I have 31-27 Saints.
Ooh, man, you're thinking highly.
Yeah, I am.
28-24.
I just think it's going to be that fourth quarter will be back and forth. Whoever gets the ball the last time should,
All right. Well, that does it up for the matchups this week. We're going to run through the spreads real quick on my picks. You guys can point in whatever you guys feel. I went Packers. They're given 6.5. I went Bills, given 2.5. I went Browns with that +10, and then I got Bucks with a +3.
So I completely agree with because we're all within a field goal of each other when we gave out our scores for Bucks and Saints, so we're all agreeing that they're going to be it's a Saints by a field goal. So you might as well go for the Bucks on that 3. Browns, obviously you take that bet of +10 because that as I've said before to the people who followed when we did fantasy and things of that nature, if it's +7, that's a good deal for me. If it's 7 and above, that's the spread I'm going to take. As far as which one of them's 2.5, I forget which one that is.
Bills.
Bills. I wouldn't gamble that one. I mean, I'll go for an overall, over under. I wouldn't be going for
Point spread.
Don't go for that one. And that's what I say. I mean, I'm not good with the betting, but I know I've been pretty spot on when it comes.
You've been pretty much hitting it, doing a lot better than I have been. So
well, because I don't have anything to lose because I'm not gambling. It's kind of like getting married. I can't lose anything if I don't have anything. So there you go.
Terrible.
How is wedding life?
There's that relationship. There's that Barfy relationship advice, everybody.
And, I'm good. My door's always open. I mean, Monahan's my therapist when it comes to idiotic sports things, as you might have seen the other night. So I'm here for any relationship advice that anyone out there would need. Pretty much.
Tune in.
Pretty much just stay single and shut the fuck up. That's all you gotta
do. Ed and Steve, we'll go with Ed on this. Who are you feeling with your rundown?
I obviously have it totally opposite, and probably all of you guys, but I have the rate. Well, I'm gonna propose a bet because I know you guys are doing some type of shot collar coming up.
Oh yeah, we'll get that. We'll get that.
Okay. So
go ahead. I'm listening now.
Ravens. I'm gonna take the points, but they're gonna win straight out. Anything it's gonna be under unless it snows. I'm gonna take the over. Take the Rams 6.5. I'm gonna take the Browns +10. And Tampa Bay take the 3, but they're winning right out as well. So,
okay, what do you got, Steve?
All right, I'm with the Rams with the 6.5. I'd take Buffalo because I figure it's going to be a field goal game, and I'm for Buffalo 2.5. So I'm taking Buffalo and obviously give me 10 points on any game. Just about. I'm taking the Browns 10 points, and the Saints and the Bucks. That's pretty much a toss-up at a field goal, but I have the Saints by 4. So we go Saints.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, we should see how this all comes out over the next 2 days. I'm excited for 3 o'clock, 3:30 kickoff. I think it is 3:05.
4:15.
Yeah, it's late. Late today and earlier tomorrow.
Weird, but. Yeah, so like Ed was saying earlier, a little bit, a minute ago or whatever, we do have shot collars.
Sorry, not to interrupt you. I apologize. It is 4:35 Rams and Packers, 4:35 p.m. on Fox Eastern Time. Then the next game is at 8:15 on NBC. And followed by that, come in with a new episode of Friends. And then tomorrow it's 3:05 on CBS. And who cares? I can't remember the last one because I didn't write it down. All of my wrote down except for the last one.
Tampa Bay and Saints. I think that's an 8:15.
That's an 8:15 most likely.
Yeah.
But
like Ed was mentioning about the shot collar, here you go, guys.
Barfy and the Bash Brigade proudly present Shot Collar Roulette 2.0. Saturday, January 23rd, 2 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube Live. Watch Monahan and the Ball Bastard go head-to-head in knowledge competition. Loser gets zapped. That's Saturday, January 23rd, 2 p.m. Facebook.com/Barfy and the Bald P or on YouTube at Barfy and the Bastard Brigade. If you're not watching this, you're probably dead or in jail. And if you're in jail, break out.
So next Saturday should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. Well, that wraps it up for this week. Hey guys, Ed and Steve, thank you.
I love you.
I know.
What the fuck?
He's married now. He's more sensitive.
Oh my god! Yeah, you're married.
So it was a lot of fun. Hey, everyone that tuned in, appreciate everything. We didn't get as many comments as we did before, but hey, you guys tune in. You guys leave a comment, hit the like button on our YouTube channel, subscribe, share. Joe, you want to go through?
Check out our merchandise store. It's Barfy and the Bass Brigade.threadless.com. You can hit us up on the Twitter at Barfy and the BB, Facebook Barfy and the Bald B, until I figure out a way to fucking change it. Zuckerberg. YouTube at Barfy and the Bass Brigade. Like, follow, subscribe, smash that notification bell so you know whenever we go live, because sometimes it's just a random nighttime and Monahan goes, hey, let's go live. So don't forget to check us out on Saturday, 2 p.m., YouTube or Facebook for Shot Collar Roulette 2.0. I'm asking the questions. These two are going to be zapped back to the second grade because they're not going to get the questions right. They're not going to get any of these questions right. It's general knowledge, but it's shit that you just forget about, like tying your shoes or rooting for a good football team. Your hometown team.
Phil.
I was going to use that, but I knew you're waiting for it. So, but I got another one that you messed up on that I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna slide right in there without you realizing. I'm gonna reword it. But come out, check us out, and we'll see you guys probably later this week. I'm sure we're gonna do something maybe on Monday. I'm sure I'm gonna get a text from Monahan like, hey, let's
Yeah, I don't go back to work till Tuesday, so that should be a good time.
There you go. So if not, we'll see you guys on Saturday.
Take care, guys.
You good. Be safe.
Thank you.